Hundreds of athletes from nations around the world made the trek to Turkey, this time to Ankara, a city on the rise that serves as the capital of this historic land. The ruins and ancient castles blend in with modern skyscrapers and serve as a reminder of the Romans, Ottomans, and Hittites who once ruled Anatolia. For 1 week in March, it was ruled by men and women bearing bows and arrows. They came to the Congressium in Ankara seeking their own conquest, all battling for a chance to make history by capturing a coveted world title in the land of pears and honey.
Indoor archery is shooting inside and no weather conditions like rain and wind. We shoot on 18 meters. Shooting indoors is shooting on a triple spot, and they are arranged in vertical order, and you shoot 1 arrow at each target. And the middle ring is 4 centimeters. The qualification round is shooting 60 arrows. Each end is with 3 arrows within 120 seconds. A recurve match is 1 shooter against another one, based on the qualification round, and you shoot 3 arrows, and the one with the higher score gets 2 points. If the score is tied, you get 1 point, and the one who is reaching 6 points first is going to the next round. If both shooters have 5 points, you go into a shoot-off and you shoot 1 arrow into the middle spot, and the one who is closer to the center is going to the next round. What I like about indoor archery is that you can focus on your technique to get prepared for the outdoor season. And yeah, you have to focus on the aiming, which is really difficult sometimes, but I think you get along with it.
Brady Ellison came to Turkey hoping to win his first indoor world title. But a not-so-funny thing happened on his way to the gold medal match. Brady got bounced in the semis and wound up shooting for bronze. To make the best of the situation, Brady would have to get the best of Italy's Massimiliano Mandia, a man who'd won a bronze at the Indoor World Championships in Athens back in 2008. The two had faced each other once before, with the American coming out on top. After 3 sets in Ankara, the two were locked in a tight battle, tied at 3 after the first 3 sets. Ellison would open the 4th set with a 10-9 liner, while Mandia left no doubt. Brady would counter with a 10 of his own, and when Massimiliano left the next arrow in the 9 ring, it was all even again. Not for long. Ellison would catch the line to finish the set, putting pressure on Mandia, who surrendered the set to Brady. America's finest moving 1 step closer to adding another medal to a trophy case that already includes an Olympic medal, 3 outdoor World Cup titles, 30 World Cup medals, and several outdoor World Championship medallions. But there's always room for more. So Ellison had the upper hand on the scoreboard, leading 5-3 after 4 sets. Now trailing by 2, Mandia would open the 5th set. Was it a 9? Was it a 10? That would be up to the judges. All Ellison could do was take care of his own business. At worst, a set he only needed to split was tied at 10. Mandia was a man with his own mission: take the set and force a shoot-off. But that didn't seem to be on Brady's agenda, and he was doing all he could to close the show down.
Let's get this next one nice and strong.
To Mandia's credit, he wouldn't go down without a fight, and he wouldn't make it easy for Ellison. Then again, Brady wouldn't want it that way. He did it his way. 3 straight 10s in the 5th and final set spelled victory for the best recurve archer in American history. Was it the world indoor title he came to find in Turkey? Would the elusive chase for an Indoor World Championship finally end in Ankara? In a word, no. But that didn't take anything away from another major milestone in a career that still has a lot of chapters left to be written. There's still time to bag that first indoor world title, and who knows, that could happen 2 years down the road at the next Indoor Championships in Yankton, South Dakota. Stay tuned for more. We are very happy to be in the finals tomorrow. We knew that the quarterfinals would be complicated. We started the match with a high pace with two ends at 60 points, and that helped us win the quarters. We had the same dynamics in the win against the Russian team. This is my first appearance with the French national team, and I realized it was very different from any other individual competition I'm used to shooting, like Indoor Archery World Cup events. Shooting as a team puts more pressure on me because I'm involved with the whole team. But it also gives you more confidence in your shooting because the others are also here for you, and this helped me shoot better. We were very tense during the semifinal shoot-off, but we managed to keep our focus on what we worked on before. That was something we planned with our coach from the beginning of practice. That allowed us to keep our arrows in the 10 like we did in the quarterfinals, and we continued to do that during the match against Russia. Right after the shoot-off, we weren't sure of the outcome. We had to wait to be sure if it was us or them. We were in a hurry to hear the final decision. When we saw our arrow being the closest, knowing that the score had been tied, it was a relief, and we were satisfied with what we achieved in the morning.
On est soulagé et satisfait de ce qu'on a fait sur la matinée.
Thanks to victories over Belarus and Russia, the French team would go for the gold. Antoine, Mulot, and Tavernier teaming up to tackle a tough team from Deutschland. Floto, Kelland, and Schmitz made for a formidable foe after convincing wins over Ukraine and Georgia. And in fact, Flo, and Carlo had a commanding 4-point cushion after just the first 2 sets. When the going gets tough, though, the French get going. A 10 for Tavernier. Mulot makes it 2 in a row. Antoine keeps the streak going, 10-10-10. France has a pulse. Schmitz would like to tattoo another 10 on his target, but he gives up a point with that 9. Floto finds the middle, paving the way for Kelland, who also connects.
10, and a 9.
It seems to be contagious. Tavernier does it again. Same goes for Mulot. Antoine, not about to spoil the party. France has something going with 6 in a row. Schmitz regroups and regains his form. Floto, however, seems to falter, leaving his shot hugging the line, which is exactly what Florian Kelland would do. So the set goes to France, and what seemed to be a safe lead for Germany is cut in half. Cause for celebration rippling through the crowd in the Congressium. Tavernier would tap into all that energy. His second shot of the next set turns out to be a 9, which would be fine if Mulot would follow with a pick-me-up 10. But another 9 is not fine for a team trailing by 2. Antoine struck gold to stop the bleeding, but the red, white, and blue knew it could be curtains. Not so fast. Schmitz sends his arrow into the danger zone. Floto's shot flares up into the 9 ring. So even after Kelland comes through with a solid shot, the Germans come up 1 point short of sealing the deal. Oh mon Dieu, their 4-point lead is gone and the match is tied at 4-all with 1 set to go. Vive la France! Could they come all the way back to claim the gold in a shoot-off scripted by Hollywood? Germans had another ending in mind. Schmitz redeemed himself in the tiebreaker, where Tavernier tried his best to keep French hopes alive. Floto would do his best to burst their bubble, finding the center of his universe. Now it was up to Mulot, who wasn't on the down low with that shot. At least not as low as Florian Kalund, who completes the trifecta of 10s for Germany and essentially stakes a claim on the gold medal. It's now out of reach for France, and Antoine's final shot is academic. A courageous comeback comes up short in the shoot-off. Germany wins the tiebreaker by 2 points. They win the match, and they all get a nice long group hug. 5-4 is the official score. Schmitz, Floto, and Kalund, Flo, and Carlo grab victory from the jaws of defeat to earn the top spot on the podium. It started off well, and we managed to go ahead 4-0. Then we were in a fight, and the match went even at 4-4. Shoot-offs are always a battle of nerves, but chasing this victory and winning, it was great. This guy, not exactly a household name in archery, not even in Ukraine. Sergei Makarevich is just 21, and he only joined the national team last year. But after surviving 2 shoot-offs and beating Brady Ellison, Makarevich had earned a chance to mine for gold. Someone else was after the same treasure, someone on the same team. Yuri Ivanitsky was a known commodity coming to Ankara, and considering his world ranking along with his track record on the international scene, he figured to be the favorite in this clash of Ukrainians. Guess again, the match was tied at 3 after 3 after Makarevich had won the second set and split the third. Message received by Ivanitsky. Nothing iffy about that arrow. It's a shot that puts him in the driver's seat after Makarevich leaves his out to the left. Ivanitsky comes back down to earth with a 9 of his own. And it appeared that might come back to haunt him after a 10 from Makarevich ties the set at 19 apiece. Yuri rights the ship using pinpoint precision, putting his third arrow dead center. So Sergei's got to match that effort, and Makarevich falls short. So the set belongs to Ivanitsky, and so does the overall lead. He pulls ahead in the match, taking a 5-3 advantage into the 5th set. Of course, Makarevich still has a chance to force a shoot-off, but he must win the next set, not split. He needs 2 points to keep this going. With the head of world archery on the edge of his seat, Makarevich keeps us in suspense as he comes out and shoots a 10-9 liner. On the other hand, Ivanitsky did his best to take all the drama out of this final scene. Sergei takes another swing and finds the 10 ring. His heart's still beating, but he's on life support after another 10 by his opponent.
10.
So Makarevich makes a valiant effort to stay in the game, ripping into the center of his target. But it's too little, too late. The damage has already been done, and Yuri Ivanitsky isn't about to let his teammate off the hook. He goes for the jugular and gets the kill shot that puts Makarevich out of his misery. For Ivanitsky, it's a fitting end to a fantastic week, which saw him win a pair of tiebreakers and defeat Massimiliano Mandia just to reach the gold medal match, where he avenged an earlier loss to his fellow countrymen. The two had faced each other not too long ago for Ukraine's national title, which was won by Sergei Makarevich. But at the World Championships in Ankara, it's Ivanitsky who gets his payback, pulling away in the last 2 sets for a convincing 7-3 victory. It was very exciting for me. We were preparing in Ukraine and training there for about a month. Then we came here to Ankara, but we didn't think we would be fighting against each other for the title of the world champion. We were a bit nervous about it, but in the end, it was cool.
Трошки нервово, скажу так, але це дійсно класно.
Ironically, earlier in the day, Makarevich had teamed up with Ivanitsky and Alexander Serdyuk in a team bronze medal match against the Russian Federation. Having both guys in the men's gold medal match would not be enough to stop the Russian Federation. Bayer Zebektorjiev got a lot of support from Arsalan Baldanov and Alexander Kozhin, who made quick work of the three Ukrainians. It was over in just 3 sets, with Russia winning the team bronze medals by a count of 5-1.
Ukraine and Russia, Russian Federation.
Meanwhile, another Ukrainian wasn't having any more luck. Despite this 10, Veronika Marchenko found herself trailing Italy's Claudia Mandia 5-3 in the 5th set, Claudia matching Marchenko's opening salvo. Veronika's finally found her rhythm, but it's late in the day. Claudia keeps the clamps on, keeping pace with Marchenko, who must accept her fate after a final shot that falls in the 9 ring. The bronze belongs to Claudia Mandia by virtue of a 7-3 decision.
I'm Brady Ellison. We're here in beautiful Ankara at the Indoor World Championships. I'm getting ready for Rio and hopefully some finals matches in the next couple of days.
Yeah, well, we got a team quota place for the Netherlands that we accomplished in Copenhagen last year. And this year we'll have an internal qualification for who will become the 3 guys that will go to Rio. So we have some competition ahead.
It definitely, winning our 3 spots makes it easier to concentrate on the games. We don't have to worry about getting spots. We just worry about making the team. Now we have 3 places. There's no question about us not having 3 spots or anything like that. So now we can just, we can just do our job. We sit here, train, we get compete, and we can get ready to go try to win another medal at the games.
Yeah, we have 2 quarter places now, and we are fighting for the team quarter places in women and men in Antalya. So it's not decided who will go. We have a trial after Antalya and for the 1 place, each category.
For me, I don't believe in, oh, it's an Olympic year, like I have to shoot outside all the time. It's like I don't not shoot indoors on a world championship year, and the games is just another tournament. Yes, it's a little more important, but it's the same thing. So I'm going to shoot indoors, I'm going to train, I'm going to compete against the best of the world on all stages, and then get ready.
I think step on step. So now are the World Championships here, and then we fight for the quarter places, and then I can think about Rio.
Well, I became 4th in London, so hopefully I get a medal this time, and otherwise I will do my best and see what's happened.
I want to make a lot more teams. I really would like to continue shooting and, have a long career, 5, 6, 7 Olympics. And to do that, you can't really miss any of them. You kind of have to do it all in a row. Once you miss one, I feel like it's a little bit harder to come back. So yeah, definitely making my 3rd games would be a big deal. Being able to go compete. I don't know, the Olympics are special. You don't want to miss any of them.
Poland would see red in the team gold medal match against Japan. Lesniak, Liviarska, and Mishur surely didn't expect the kind of treatment they received from Sugimoto Tomami, Kawanaka Kaori, and Sugibayashi Rina. Sugimoto started the onslaught with a 9, followed by another 9 by Sugibayashi, and then a solid shot by Ms. Kawanaka. The Poles got off to a strong start but could not sustain it. A 10 from Lipiarska, not enough to salvage the first set. So Japan leads 2-0. Second set, not any better for Poland. A 9 from Lesniak is followed by an 8 from Mishur. So Lipiarska's left to do damage control again. Japan's doing enough damage. Sugimoto shoots a 10. Sugibayashi, ditto. But Kawanaka crash lands an 8. Even so, Japan's up by 2 in the match after splitting the set. It's 3-1 in favor of the land of the rising sun, and the sun is setting on Poland. Mishur can only muster up a 9 late in the game, as did Lipiarska. But Sugimoto and Sugibayashi get it, and they put Kawanaka Kaori in position to be the closer. Ms. Kawanaka's comfortable with this role. It's a clean sweep for the Japanese women. They win the team goal by a score of 6-0. Hands down, the best match on Recurve Saturday would showcase Germany's Lisa Unruh and Poland's Natalia Lesniak. Unruh had 6 World Cup medals on her CV, including a silver pendant she picked up in World Cup play 2 years back in Colombia. On the other side of the coin, Lesniak's personal best during qualification and an impressive win over Claudia Mandia in the semis. After dropping the first set, Lesniak laid down 3 straight 10s to take the second set and tied the match at 10 apiece. Unruh had a respectable round of 29, but now found herself in a battle royale. On to the third set, which did not start all that well with Unruh's 9. No harm done after a similar score by Lesniak.
9-10 liner.
And life looked a lot better for Lisa when she revisited the 10. But Lesniak would not go away and found herself keeping the same company. Now, normally, a 9 would be cause for concern. But Natalia could not nail down the 10 she needed to move back in front. So the set is split and the tension builds. The score goes to 3-all with 6 arrows left to shoot. But who knows, maybe more. Unruh regains her form and lets a 10 fly. Lesniak digs down deep and posts a 10 spot of her own. She's got her minions rooting for her. Not so much for Lisa, but she pushes ahead, pushing another arrow into the center circle. Lesniak still won't go away. Another solid shot to tie the set. Unruh raises the bar again. And Natalia once again raises the level of her game. Can you say split? I thought that you could. After 4 sets, a dozen arrows, 12 tenths shots, this match is still up for grabs. Unruh and Lesniak each with 4 points, hurtling towards the final set of a nip-and-tuck battle. Natalia not looking as Unruh opens set 5 with what else? A 10. She's got no choice. Nothing less than a 10 will do. It's obvious now it's simply a matter of who's going to blink first. Not Lisa. But could it be Lesniak? It could. Advantage goes to Unruh. Thing is, she could not take advantage, while Natalie could. Bottom line, it ain't over till it's over. That 5th set was not the final set. A shoot-off would be required, so the 2 sharpshooters square off at 18 meters. Question is, who'd get the draw on the other? Unruh catches a break, getting first crack at it. She can exert a ton of pressure on Lesniak with a well-placed arrow, and mission is accomplished. Natalia Lesniak would take a stab at it, and yes, it was a 10. But Some shots are just prettier at closing time. The women's gold medal match evenly matched. The score was tied after 4 of the 5 sets, and it required a hold-your-breath tiebreaker to finally determine a winner, who happened to be Germany's Lisa Unruh, in what has to be one of, if not the great wins of her career.
Ja, ich denke, das ist ein guter Start.
Yes, I think that's a good start for me this year, and I think there will be more good results along the way. I think we'll be successful in getting the qualification points needed for Rio, and that's why I'm really looking forward to the rest of this year.
Freue ich mich sehr auf die weiteren Wochen in diesem Jahr.
And the year continues with the Outdoor World Cup Tour that begins next month in China.